Muy buenas tardes a todas, a todos y a todos. Sean ustedes bienvenidos a esta última sesión de cuartos de final de mi tesis en 3 minutos en la categoría de inglés. Yo soy Mario de Leo, director de comunicación del conocimiento en la Dirección de Comunicación y Conocimiento aquí en Rectoría General. Y pues les voy a dar una muy breve revisión de todo lo que tiene que ver con este concurso para que entremos con todo en la mano. Recordarles que mi tesis en 3 minutos es un concurso que nace en Australia hace 19 años y a la cual está inscrita en carácter oficial esta Universidad Autónoma Metropolitana y que busca mejorar las habilidades de comunicación del estudiantado y poder explicar para un público no especializado justamente sus investigaciones. Y como en nuestra universidad existen muy diversas formas de titularse y además en esta dirección hemos ampliado quienes compiten de licenciatura, maestría y doctorado, y no solamente doctorado como se hace a nivel mundial, pues le llamamos tesis a todo tipo de trabajo que otorgue el grado. Y se desarrollan muy diversas habilidades en este concurso, principalmente la de una comunicación efectiva y no técnica, y en esto estuvimos trabajando con el alumnado desde la dirección en 2 sesiones de capacitación para que se hicieran las preguntas más importantes, construyeran la narrativa de su presentación, diseñaran la diapositiva y supiesen potenciar la forma en la que hablan en público. Adicionalmente, por supuesto que fortalece nuestra cultura de investigación como universidad y construye relaciones al interior y al exterior de la Autónoma Metropolitana. Tenemos 4 categorías, todas el día de hoy están participando, pero en inglés. Todos y todas los alumnos que están participando el día de hoy, pues ya lo hicieron en español en su debida categoría, pero hoy estamos juntando a todas a concursar en inglés. Recordarles que nuestro jurado está compuesto por 5 personas, todas de ellas o relacionadas con las áreas que se van a presentar hoy o ajenas, porque queremos que este concurso justamente pueda comunicar a un público sin distingos. Y esa es la meta. Hemos analizado también con nuestro jurado el día de hoy si existen conflictos de interés, entendiéndose por conflictos de interés que no puedan evaluar objetivamente a la persona que está presentando, sea porque sean muy cercanas a la persona presentando o a la investigación que se está presentando, pero no nos han indicado que existan conflictos de interés en esta cuarto de final. La normativa internacional requiere que la persona esté presentando sin leer, sin aditamentos que hagan relación a su investigación en la vestimenta o en la parte de atrás. Se puede auxiliar de una única diapositiva que está traducida de la que presentaron en español en las categorías previamente. Le voy a pedir a Joaquín si me ayuda a presentar, por supuesto, nuestro cronómetro, que esto es una lucha contra el cronómetro. Son 3 minutos, cuando quedan 30 segundos se pone cronómetro de color rojo y, bueno, nuestro alumnado ya sabe cuánto le queda. Si se pone de color blanco, quiere decir que han pasado de tiempo y han quedado descalificadas o descalificadas. Gracias, Joaquín. Recordarle a nuestro jurado que nuestra rúbrica de evaluación va del 1 al 5 en 8 diferentes rubros. El 1 es el más bajo, el 5 es el valor más alto y el primer rubro es si proporcionaron nuestros concursantes antecedentes e importancia de la investigación. El segundo, si los conceptos, ideas claves y personas relevantes han sido mencionadas. Y la tercera, si las conclusiones, los resultados y el impacto de la investigación ha sido mencionado. Los otros 3 rubros tienen que ver con la comunicación. Primeramente, si el discurso fue claro y con un lenguaje apropiado para un público no especializado. En segunda medida, si la diapositiva está bien definida y apoya el discurso. Recordarle a nuestro jurado que no estamos buscando nada más que esté el nombre y el apellido, sino que esté fortaleciendo la narrativa de su investigación. Y en tercer lugar, si la persona participante transmite con entusiasmo y mantiene su interés durante esos 3 minutos. Los otros 2 rubros que se están evaluando tienen que ver exclusivamente con la competencia de hoy en inglés. Recordarle a nuestro jurado que no estamos evaluando la pronunciación en inglés. Reitero, no se evalúa la pronunciación en inglés, sino 2 conceptos distintos. La primera es si la construcción gramatical es coherente en inglés y la segunda es si hay claridad en el discurso al presentarlo en inglés, ¿no? Entonces, si fluye y si tiene una lógica de principio a fin y si hay claridad en lo que se está presentando. La persona que gane en las finales esta categoría de inglés se llevará 15,000 pesos a casa. Recordarle también a nuestro jurado que no estamos evaluando la pertinencia, ni la importancia, ni la calidad de la investigación y que no pueden realizar preguntas, solamente estamos evaluando la presentación y que gran parte de nuestro alumnado de licenciatura o de posgrado todavía se puede encontrar realizando esta investigación, por lo que puede no haber resultados o conclusiones finales. Recordarles que nuestra universidad es la que más recursos invierte en este concurso a nivel nacional. Y quisiera presentarles muy brevemente a nuestro jurado, como siempre de 10, que hace que este concurso tenga una calidad nacional e internacional. Primeramente, agradecerle a la maestra Rosa Vázquez de la Embajada de Estados Unidos en México, así como a la maestra Mónica Genis Chimal de la DGDC de la UNAM, a la doctora Daniela Sepúlveda Ruiz de Catalizador Social Asociación Civil, a la maestra Tania Benavides Gómez de la GDC de la UNAM también, y también a la maestra Mónica Angulo Miñarro del British Council. A todas ellas, muchísimas gracias por su tiempo, por su educación y su quirúrgica evaluación que nos permitirá obtener a las personas que pasan a la semifinal. Y con ello, le invito a Oriana Trejo, que es la voz y organizadora de este concurso, que se sume. No te vemos tu cámara, Oriana, pero te tenemos en línea. ¿Nos
Sí,
escuchas, Oriana?
sí, no sé qué está pasando, pero a ver, vamos a bajarle la definición. Ahí
Ahí está.
estamos.
¿Cómo estás, Oriana? We need to go into English.
Yes, last but not least, Mario.
The last one for this quarterfinals.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm
are we
ready to
ready?
go.
Ready to go.
Okay, so thank you. See you in a bit. And well, thank you to everyone who is joining us today for our final quarters in English. We are going to be speaking a little bit in English and also in Spanish, but please let us know who are you coming to support, where are you coming from which of our campuses, so we can have a little bit more fun. And thank you to our jury. Okay, so I'm going to introduce to our first participant. And well, first of all, Reina Guadalupe Chupin Carvajal didn't show up, so I think she's no longer taking part into the contest. We are still going to wait to see if she show up at the end, but she's not here. So I'm going to introduce who is here, Ricardo Briseño Lopez, who is from Seattle. So welcome, Ricardo. How are you doing this afternoon?
Hello. I caught a cold last night,
Oh no.
so my throat is a little bit sore, but I'm trying to take a lot of tea and hot water.
Okay, hopefully just 3 minutes and then you can go back to bed and then rest and then recover.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
so I'm gonna put your slide and then you can start at any moment, Ricardo.
oh God.
Yeah, are you ready? Or do you want us to wait a little bit? You can do it,
I didn't want to
Ricardo.
go first, but no, here it goes.
Okay. Good luck, Ricardo. You can do it.
My mother told me to cut a flower to bring her to her on her Saint's Day. My mother told me. This is a verse from a song from the Cojolites band from Veracruz. And this is a very beautiful song that I remember every time I see one of these cempasúchil flowers, also known as marigolds. And these flowers are something very beautiful and dear to me and dear to all of us in Mexico. not only because they are symbolic from the Day of the Dead, but also because they are very beautiful flowers with a very beautiful scent. Well, hello, my name is Ricardo Briceño Lopez, and my thesis that I'm presenting to you today, it's about the study of the history of this flower and the study of its illustration, of the illustrations that were made from this flower during the colonial period in Mexico. This is a long period of 300 years in Mexico that it's an understudy case. We don't study it as much as the modern Mexico or the pre-Hispanic Mexico, and it has a very big production of images for scientific purposes. So what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to make is to create a history about scientific illustrations of flowers, specifically the cempasúchil. But this methodology of study of the illustrations of flowers pretends to create a bigger history of the scientific illustrations in these 300 years in Mexico. For this, I'm trying to use the methods of art history and a little bit of a different approach with more of a archaeology of the images, which is a very trying to make like a genealogy of the evolution of illustrations, following a little bit of the ideas of Michel Foucault in that creation of the of story of history. So this, because I want to fill this void in research, this understudy. And this is with the plan to make a path of petals that brings the knowledge from the past to the present that we're all living. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo, just in time.
Thanks.
You managed to do it, so you should be happy.
Yes, I'm
about
happy.
all your effort, because I know it's not easy to come a little bit sick. So thank you so much. And I don't want you to talk a lot if you don't feel like it. But do you want to say thank you to anyone or someone in Xochimilco?
Yes, in fact, I want to thank all of my friends from UAM Xochimilco. Just today, we went in the morning to the ecological park that it's just around the corner to UAM. So we went there to watch the scenery, to to watch the birds, in fact. And so I came back, but I think it was not the best idea during these rains, but it was a really beautiful morning. So yeah, I'm really happy with all my friends, and of course I'm thankful to my family and to my teachers in UAM.
Thank you, Ricardo. And I can imagine that you were also able to look a lot of beautiful flowers.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Ricardo. I hope that you recover pretty soon. And now you can rest and sleep and have a nice tea and probably a hot shower.
Thank you.
So thank you, Ricardo. See you soon.
See you soon.
And well, now I'm going to introduce our next contestant. He's Roberto Carlos Robles de la Rosa, who is studying biomedical psychology. Welcome, Roberto. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also very excited to be sharing with you about my research.
Yes, that's the emotion. So I'm going to put your slide and then you can start at any moment, Roberto. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. When we talk about disorder eating, the image that first comes to our minds is almost always the same: a young, white, middle to upper class, and extremely thin woman. Historically, science and healthcare professionals have had a monumental blind spot, assuming this was exclusively a women's issue. However, men experience them too, and evidence shows that we, as gay men, are a particularly vulnerable and overlooked group. We live under a double standard where nobody seems to be enough. The world demands us to be thin to be accepted, but our own community pressures us to look muscular to be attractive. And added to this contradiction is the constant emotional toll of living with discrimination, stigma, and prejudice, something we in psychology call minority stress. To try and fit into this unreal mold, many turn to dangerous behaviors, like starving for days, inducing vomiting, over-exercising, or even abusing laxatives and steroids. These practices are ticking time bombs that can evolve into severe, life-threatening eating disorders. And the big problem is that we were trying to help blindfolded. The instruments we use to assess our clients were designed for other populations that completely ignored what we actually experience in our community. But my research solves exactly this gap. What we did was take a clinical instrument designed to assess these risky behaviors and adapt it to reflect our reality as Mexican gay men. We worked hand in hand with experts in eating behavior and LGBTQ plus healthcare, and then administered it to over 160 gay men to make sure it really worked. And what we found is, the, thanks to this adaptation, is that the problem clusters into four cores. And today we can finally assess not only the drive to be thin or muscular, but also the deep emotional pain caused by social pressure and the use of extreme methods to control weight. At the end of the day, these aren't just numbers in a thesis. We developed an instrument that finally validates and measures the pain that so many carry in silence. And most importantly, we proved that this tool is highly accurate in detecting who is in real danger of developing an eating disorder. This work gives us the opportunity to make ourselves visible, to intervene in therapy in time, and to help thousands of men in our community let go of that demand so that when they look in the mirror, they can finally find peace and reclaim their well-being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roberto. And well, also congratulations, because by now you know that you are on the semifinals. So how did you feel?
I'm very excited.
Were you expecting that?
Not really.
And well, now you have double chance, because you can also wait for the English results. But in the meantime, do you want to say thank you to anyone like in Lerma, or maybe watching you or watching you afterwards this competition?
Yeah, I want to thank especially my family, my group of friends, and all of the people that helped in doing this research. And
Well, thank you so much, Roberto. And remember to let everyone know that you are on the semifinals, because now we are going to have the public's vote. So let everyone know so they can come and vote for you in the semifinals. And see you there. Bye, Roberto.
thank you.
And now we continue with our next contestant. He is Salvador de Jesus Hernandez, who is studying math. Welcome, Salvador.
Welcome. Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. I'm a little anxious, and I'm also excited.
That's a mix of feelings, but I'm pretty sure that you are able to do it. So I'm going to put your slide, and then you can start at any moment. Good luck, Salvador.
Thank you. Okay. Imagine you're planning your vacation. You have to decide where to travel by plane, train, or car. Uh, each option has a cost, and some of those costs are not exact numbers. For instance, the time you will spend at the airport is about 2 hours. The cost of the gas you will use will be around 1,000 pesos. You know more or less what each option costs, but you don't know it exactly, and even so, you have to decide. This kind of problem, deciding today with imprecise information, knowing that you have to decide tomorrow and the day after that, is exactly the problem I study. They are decision models. It sounds strange, but it's actually something we all do every day, deciding which route to take or how to invest our savings in an invest fund. Um, for decades, mathematicians have known how to solve these problems when the costs are exact numbers. There is a theory that tells us if you give me the numbers, I'll give you back the best possible decision, the one that keeps the cost as low as possible in the long run. Unfortunately, real life doesn't give us exact numbers. Real life tells us it costs around 1,000, it takes about 2 hours, the risk is low, and so on. My thesis shows that if we handle imprecision correctly, the best decision we get is exactly the same as if we had the exact numbers. What is this for? It helps a logistic company plan its route knowing that the delivery time is between 20 and 30 minutes and still made the best decision. It helps an pension fund decide how to invest our money even when the inflation is not exact. In the end, what I found is that in a wide range real problems, imprecision doesn't change the best decision. It's like having a navigation system that always finds the best route, even when the map is a bit blurry. And that I think is good news for anyone who has to make decision without having all the data. Thank you.
Thank you, Salvador. Well done. How did you feel?
Well, I feel now I'm relieved.
Yeah, exactly. Now you can chill, you can breathe, you can wait
Yes,
for the results, and then you can enjoy also Holy Week.
I hope so.
Salvador, do you want to say thank you to anyone who came here to support you or who is going to be watching you afterwards?
Well, I will say thank to the one because I receive a lot of support and I have great experiences in that place. I will say thank to my advisor and my teachers and well the community. It's a nice place to study. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Salvador. Thank you for teaching us a little bit more about how to make decisions under uncertainty. And well, hope for the and wait for the results.
Thank you.
So thank you, Salvador. And I'm going to say this in Spanish. Les recuerdo a todas las personas participantes que no es necesario que permanezcan en la sala. Una vez que pasen, pueden retirarse de la sala y pueden continuar viendo la eliminatoria en redes sociales. Se está transmitiendo en Facebook y en YouTube. And then I'm going to introduce our next contestant. He's Santiago Antonio González Trejo, who is studying biomedical psychology. Welcome, Santiago.
Hi.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna put your slide and then you can start at any moment. Good luck, Santiago.
Since the 1980s, obesity has been rising dramatically worldwide. And while we often think about its effects on the body, there is something even more concerning about it. Obesity also affects the brain. It has been but also problems in memory, learning, and other essential brain functions. But at the biological level, one of the most affected processes is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change, adapt, and form new connections. It is what allows us to learn, remember, and ultimately to be who we are. Hmm. Here is where a key protein comes in, ARC. ARC is activated when we learn something new, and it helps strengthen the connections between neurons. It plays a fundamental role in memory formation. However, under conditions like obesity, this protein can be altered, and with it, our ability to remember. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there? It may seem like something trivial, but it can also reflect how our lifestyle, physical inactivity, high-fat diets, and lack of stimulation impacts our brain. So this led to an important question. Can we do something to protect our brain? This is what I assessed in my thesis. I studied with diet-induced obesity, evaluating their memory and analyzing what was happening with our protein in their brains. And at the same time, these animals were exposed to environmental enrichment that included novelty, exploration, and so to speak, constant stimulation. What we aim to understand is whether a stimulating environment can help preserve neuroplasticity and reduce the negative effects of obesity on the brain. Because in the end, we are not only what we eat, we are also what we experience. And something as simple as exploring the new may help us keep what we have already learned. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Santiago. How are you feeling? How was the experience of presenting now in English?
Well, I'm kind of nervous, but I have done it before. So it's not like my first time. It's just maybe some people, like my friends, may see this, and I'm kind of ashamed of it, right? But I presented this my thesis in some international congress, so I have like a little bit of experience talking.
Yeah, and this is to keep practicing. Because as you are saying, this is what you already have done and will probably keep doing in international congresses, in conferences. So we want all of you to have also these tryouts to keep practicing in a safe space. And yeah, actually, we have here Abigail ALC, who is watching you, and she's saying, Ea, Santiago.
Yeah, she's my girlfriend, so yeah. I want to thank her and also my parents. I know you didn't ask, but yeah, my parents, because without the English lessons, I couldn't make it possible, right?
Yeah, exactly. Quite helpful. Okay, so thank you so much, Santiago, and hopefully I'll see you on the next round.
Thanks. I hope so too. Bye.
Bye. Okay, and now I want to introduce you to our first female contestant from the day. She is Scarlett Fernanda Valderas Lopez, who is studying medicine. Welcome, Scarlett. How are you doing?
Hi, Oriana. I am okay. Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm going to put your slide and then you can start. Good luck.
Today, I want you to imagine an uninvited guest. The kind who eats all your food, takes your TV remote, sits on your favorite chair at dinner, knows nothing about limits, and you start wondering, will it be too rude if I ask him to leave? Well, that is cancer. Hi, I'm Scarlett Valderas, and 6 years ago I started med school at what I like to call the best university in Mexico, UAM. Around that same time, my dad was diagnosed with advanced colon cancer, and that uninvited guest became part of my life and the reason why I'm sitting here today. Med school taught me limits are often the problem. Trust me, years of therapy confirm it. And since limits seems to be everywhere nowadays, let me tell you about one. In cancer de colon, there are two advanced stages that can look very similar, but crossing a limit, even by just 1 millimeter, changes everything. The treatment, the medical decision, and often the patient's prognosis. In these advanced stages, survival can drop below 20%. That's why this invisible millimeter matters so much. My research focused on that millimeter we weren't paying enough attention to. I spent hours behind a microscope examining dozens of tiny tissue samples until I found a clear and objective limit to distinguish these two stages. And here comes the interesting part. When this uninvited gas comes too close to the colon's outer layer, it disrupts the limit, triggers inflammation, and becomes much more aggressive, like an advanced stage. That tiny distance, thinner than a fingernail, can mean preserving the colon or removing it, choosing one treatment or another, and in many cases, the difference between life and death. I didn't discover a new cure. I didn't develop a new treatment. What I did was define a limit. See, what did I tell you about limits? The importance of my research was huge, not only for scientific community, but for people fighting cancer today. And for me, because now I can see that every tiny tissue I had in my hands represents a family's hope, families who want responsible answers. And what I want we take home today is we understand, we measure, we transform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scarlett. And I can see that you invite many people to support you today.
Yes.
So let's see who is here. This time they had the chance to have a look at you. So we have Lendy Lu. Saludos a Scarlett Valderas desde Parras, Coahuila. So hello to Coahuila. Saludos a Scar de Pola Batis. Ana González, saludos y éxitos a Scarlett Valderas. Hola, venga Scarlett.
Thank you.
Y ya vamos con todo, bendiciones. Scarlett, saludos, mucho éxito. Éxito Scarlett, dice Liliana. Let's go Scar. Saludos a Scarlett. So proud of you, Scar. Saludos. Saludos. So what do you want to say, Scarlett, to all these people who is here supporting you?
I'm really thankful because I actually invited at the last minute. So thank you, all of you. Thank you, Paula and Soph, that they work with me. And I was like, please come, come to see me. So I'm really happy that they could make it.
Yeah, and well, also, you know by now that you are on the semifinals. So congratulations for that.
Yes, thank you.
And I hope that everyone will come for in the semifinals because then they will be able to vote for you.
Yes, I hope the same.
So start saving the date. It's going to be more or less in a month. And we will wait for everyone here.
Thank you.
So congratulations again, Scarlett, and I'll see you on the next Spanish round.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. And well, we are going to continue with our next participant. She is Sofia Rodriguez Perez.
Hi.
Hello, Sofia. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Are you ready?
I'm a little,
nervous?
a little nervous.
Don't worry, you're going to be great.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put your slide and then you can start at any moment, okay?
Okay,
Good luck.
thank you. We can become agents of social change by transforming the way we understand the problem. How many of us have thought that people experiencing homelessness are dangerous? That when we see someone lying on the sidewalk, it's better to cross the street? Or that if they simply got a job, they could easily get out of that situation because obviously, living on the street seems like a choice. My name is Sofia Rodriguez, and the prejudices we hold about people experiencing homelessness became the starting point of my thesis. Everything begins with the narrative. How we understand the social phenomenon, its causes, its consequences, and most importantly, the way that has been taught to us. That's why, beyond theory, I became a volunteer in a social organization that works with this population. I stepped away from the desk and walked the paths they walk. I listened to the stories of children and adolescents who live or have lived on the streets, and also to those who support them, from educators working with emotions every day to those who make administrative decisions. Listening to these stories showed me how prejudice simplifies complex realities and how dominant narratives make the people and the processes that support them completely invisible. That's when I understood something fundamental. No one ends up on the street just for one reason: violence, exploit, substance use, abandonment. In many cases, the street, despite its vulnerability, was a refuge. It was survival. It was a way to stay alive. And that's when I understood my role. From the perspective of graphic communication design, I realized we don't design only to sell. We design to listen, to support, and to create impact. In this project, design became a tool to create dialogue with educators and directors, strengthening internal communication and building more human-centered narratives. I design processes and improve spaces to support the transition of children and adolescents who live on the streets, helping with their emotional care and bringing clarity to their journeys. This is not about becoming heroes. It's about stopping being spectators, about questioning what do we do when we see a child sleeping on the street, about feeling uncomfortable with the structural violence that allows it, and about using our voice from wherever we stand to change the narrative. Because design, when it's human centered and deeply understanding, doesn't only communicate, it can transform the way a society understands and responds to a reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sophia. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Little nervous, but because here is so much noise, but I'm working, so it
Yeah,
is what
but
it is.
it was good. We actually didn't hear like a lot of noise.
Okay, super.
It was good.
I was very worried about it.
No, don't worry. Actually, like I think by now the computers are pretty good and the cell phones as well, like
Yes.
collecting the noise. So that's pretty good. And we have people here to came to support you. So let's see who is here.
Yay.
We have Ere Terrazos. Mucho éxito, hija Sofía Rodríguez desde Querétaro. Te mando todas las buenas vibras. So
Love you,
here's
mom.
to Querétaro. Edu Dark. Vamos, Sofi.
Te amo,
Eso.
Edu.
Erendida dice mucho éxito, Suofi. Fernanda Rivera
Oh,
dice mi bebé.
love you, bebé.
Erendira dice excelente trabajo e investigación, Sophie. So, Sophie, what do you want to say to all these people? And also, you know by now that you are on the semifinals. So, congratulations.
Yes. Thank you, thank you. Pues, um, well, thank you for everyone who stay here with me and have support me every time, every day. I love you so much.
Well, and Sophie, was hopefully everyone is going to come back for the semifinals to support you and to vote. So you get to
Yes,
the final by the public. So
yes.
see you really soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye, Sophie. And well, I want to introduce you to our next contestant. She's Valeria Morales Núñez.
Yes,
Welcome,
hello.
Valeria. How are you doing?
Yes, a little nervous, but fine.
Why?
Well, pues, well, I'm nervous, but it's okay.
You are going to do it amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put your slide and then you can start at any moment, Valeria.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. Feminist saved my life. This is one of the phrases I hear most often during my research. My name is Valeria Morales, and I have been studying the experience of Central American women who fled Nicaragua to Costa Rica since 2018. Why focus on women? Because during the immigration, the women are one of the groups who faces more risk, like violence, discrimination, and, and other things that they have to face in migration. Many arrived young, without support networks, with their careers interrupted. Others, with their children, doing whatever it took to feed them, while mourning the home, the country, and the identity they left behind. In exile, some become pregnant, others faces different forms of violence from their parents, and in the middle of all this, as women who have always fought, they came together. Little by little, they created safe spaces, spaces to speak without fear, to share sadness, anger, and guilt. So the way they carried become little because they no longer carried alone. This space grew into organizations such as Las Volcánicas and the Red de Mujeres Pinoleras. They not only offered emotional support, they also organized to file complaints and create economic, work, educational opportunities. My research shows that pain was not only shared, it was transformed into collective action. By listening to and supporting one another, these women's revolt support networks denounce violence and renege their dignity. They created a collective feminist experience that transformed their identities and allowed them to reframe exile and keep moving forward. This is why Feminist Saving My Life isn't just a slogan. This is how they describe a shared process of healing. For migrant women in context of violence, feminism isn't just a theory. It's a strategy for survival, making sense of pain. This is how, but literally and in a sense, feminists saves their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Valeria. Just on time. Just getting to the 0 seconds. So well done. How did you feel? How are you feeling right now?
Nervous too. My hands is like
shaking a little bit.
Shaking.
Don't worry, you did it great. You finished on time, so the jury is going to take into account all your participations.
Thank you.
And now you can relax, you can breathe, you can chill.
Yes.
And what do you want to say to the people who came to support you or who is going to be watching you afterwards?
Well, I want to say, well, thank you. Thank you so much. In this case, I was a little busy, so I didn't have in my mind that the people can see from Facebook. So just in the participation of the other students, I noticed. but I know that I have the support of my family, and without that, I won't be here. So I am thankful.
And remember that it has been recorded, so you can also let them know that they can watch you afterwards. It's going to keep on Zoom and Facebook, so just
Ah,
send them the link afterwards.
yes. Sí.
Well, thank you so much, Valeria, and
Well,
wait for the results. Good
thank
luck.
you. Bye.
Bye. And well, we are approaching to the end, but we still have a few participants. So I'm going to introduce to Veronica Bucio Solis. Hello, Veronica. How are you doing?
Hello, Ariana. Fine, and you?
I'm really good. Are
Yes,
you ready?
yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm going to add your slide and then you can start. Good luck, Veronica.
Thank you, Ariana. Okay, my name is Veronica Bucio Solis. Can you imagine a world without menstrual blood? It will be terrible because menstrual blood is life, and yet it's the blood that causes the most disgust and shame. It is a blood hidden away in private spaces, for example, bathroom, where no one can see it. These apple pads and tampons remember us all the time that the menstrual blood is treated as a trash. In Mexico, since also 2010, some women had begin calling and themselves menstrual activists. They give workshops about, for example, in public spaces, in parks, in schools, in cafeterias, etc. And they talk about the menstruation all the time because the menstruation is very important for them. My goal was recover the beginnings of menstrual activism in Mexico through experience to 10 pioneering activists. To do this, I conducted online interviews because they were living in different parts of the countries, for example, Michoacán, Guadalajara, Jalisco, Puebla, etc. These interviews were held on Zoom, and guided by the question, what has you experienced about menstrual activism in Mexico been? As a result, I found that the menstrual activism in Mexico is very recent, no more than less 50 years ago. And thank you, menstrual activists in Mexico actually talk about menstruation, and for example, with the president Claudia Sheinbaum, approved a dignified menstrual law. It is very important, and for me it's very important the menstrual activism because I'm menstrual activist. Thank you.
Thank you, Vero, and thank you for that statement. Congratulations, because you also made it to the semifinals.
Yes, thank you.
How are you feeling? How did you feel with the news?
I feel happy, but in this moment I feel nervous.
I
Because
can imagine, I can imagine. But you have people here to came also to support you, like Mike Martinez. He's saying, super bien, Vero, eres increíble.
Thank you. He's my
So
husband.
always keep that in mind, that you have a lot of people who is supporting you and that you are also representing a movement.
The menstrual activists are very important for me. Thank you, Emilia, Emilia Almanza, Concepción Juárez, Laura Lecona. I love you so much and thank you because they are very important in my life.
Thank you, Vero. And well, hopefully everyone is going to be able to watch you in the semifinals and come and support you. So you came to the final. So good luck,
Thank you.
Vero, and I'll see you on the next round.
Yes, I see you. Thanks.
Goodbye. And now I'm going to introduce another Veronica. She is Veronica Rocio Orozpe Hernandez, who is from Seattle. Welcome, Veronica. How are you feeling today?
Fine, thank you very much. And you?
Good. Really excited to be finishing my 3-minute thesis.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna put your slide and then you can start at any moment. Good luck.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. In its special edition on Mexico, Vogue magazine declared that a group of designers is redefining Mexican identity. Sounds great, right? But this made me wonder, does a single Mexican identity really exist, or are we just obsessed with finding one? I am Veronica Orozpe, and today I will talk to you about the possibilities of Mexican fashion. My thesis argues that a national identity does not exist and proposes a theoretical shift towards the card and its resources, globalization and rise of network, and its unpredictable outcomes. But what does this mean? It means that we are a universe where seemingly impossible opposites coexist to create an infinity of possibilities. On one hand, we have designers like Francisco Cancino or Carla Fernandez, who act like composers or music producers. They take history and indigenous geometry to create new scores. This is a fashion conceived from intellect and technique. But Mexican fashion also exploits on the streets. We have, for example, the Mazahuacholo punks, indigenous youth who come to Mexico City and mix their traditional clothing with aesthetics like cholo or punk. They don't follow trends, they do bricolage with their style. This means that users are like DJs. In Mexico, people don't just get dressed, people remix. We have the semi-nuts of the paca, young people who go to the flea market to rescue the trash discarded by the United States and turn it into style treasures. Or the buchona aesthetic, which defies good taste with excess and luxury brands screaming power. But what do these people have in common? They are all creating. My research concludes that fashion is not a frivolity. Rather, it is born from creativity, understood as philosopher Francisco Pérez Cortés proposes, the genesis of living. And yet, the global world wants to sell us minimalism, the clean, the beige. But Mexico is not beige. Mexico is chaotic. It is loud. It is texture. The future of our fashion is not in copying Paris, but in embracing our chaos and understanding that our identity is not a still photograph. It is a constant dance between luxury and the barrier. And that, colleagues, is our true power. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Veronica. And also, congratulations, because as well you made it to the semifinals. How did you feel? How was the news?
I think I felt very happy because also I was nervous and now I feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and then also the semifinals are going to be online, so you will have the chance to prepare and to chill a little bit more in your safe space. So just remember to let everyone know to come and support you.
Yes, I will. I will, because the support is important also.
Yes, always, always. And they can vote. And also in Seattle, there's like the fewer people, the fewer contestants. So
Okay.
you have a lot of good chances. So, Vero, what do you want to say to the people who came to support you, who is going to be supporting you
Uh,
in the contest?
I will say thank you, of course. And well, maybe the next time I will invite somebody because I didn't. But I guess my mother and my boyfriend, they are thinking and sending good vibes. Thank you.
Amazing. Okay, Vero. Well, I'll see you on the next round then, and wait also
Yeah.
for the English results because you
Thank you
have
very much.
double chances.
Bye.
Bye, Vero. And well, we are arriving to the end with our last participant. So I want to let everyone know that Shailitzel Ibarra Ramirez didn't show up. So for our jury, Shail is not coming. And also Cecil Guarneros Pacheco sent an email letting us know that was not going to be able to come here. So our last participant is Celsin Lorraine Palacios Rodriguez, who is from Coajimalpa, Socio-Territorial Studies. So welcome, Celsin.
Hi, Ariana. How
How are you doing, Celsin?
I'm excited but nervous because I thought I will have at least more minutes to relax.
I know. But that's why we asked you to come like 30 minutes in advance, because we know these things could happen.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put your slide and then you can start. Good luck, Cells.
Thank you. Picture this. You're walking down a street in your neighborhood at night, and in the distance, you see someone walking towards you. What do? Do you switch to the other side of the street? Do you walk with confidence? Or do you just pray that nothing happens? Actually, the answer doesn't matter, but I'm sure it has happened to you. And if you're a woman like me, you've probably switched sizes more than once. My name is Elsin Palacios, and I want to share with you what my thesis taught me about safety perception in young women. According to official data, 46% of women in Mexico felt unsafe in their own neighborhoods. And if we look at data from previous years, we'll see that this isn't an isolated case. Historically, women in Mexico have always felt unsafe where they live. This national reality takes on a very specific form in the neighborhood where I lived for 5 years, San Fernando Huixquilucan, located in the state of Mexico. A neighborhood that for many people is a synonym of danger. Motivated by my own experience, I wanted to investigate what really makes a woman feel safe in San Fernando. I did this through interviews and participatory mapping workshops, sessions where the women themselves drew a map of San Fernando and marked the places where they felt safe and where they didn't. The main findings challenge my own logic. There are indeed places in San Fernando that create a sense of insecurity. However, it is not streetlights or panic bottoms that make a woman feel safe, but their connections to family and friendships. We aren't looking for more surveillance cameras. We're looking for familiar faces. Turns out that places, the everyday places like a corner store, a neighbor's house, or a family-run business, turned out to be the real safe places. And funnily enough, something else that happened during the workshop that was that women who lived on the same street met each other there for the first time. My research revealed to me something very important, that community ties can be stronger than any surveillance infrastructure. And the work doesn't end here. For us in San Fernando, the next step is to create spaces for women to come together, because I'm convinced that if we strengthen our community ties, maybe the next time you walk alone at night through your neighborhood, you won't feel the need to switch to the other side of the street. Finally, what I would like you to take from my work is this. Safety doesn't always start with cameras. It starts with something more simple, to getting to know your neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Celsin. And as well, congratulations, because you are also on the semifinals representing Coajimalpa. So how are you feeling? How was the news?
I was feeling cool, as you say last time. It goes really fast.
Exactly. Exactly. And all the competitions is going to be like that. And Celsin, well, you are the last one. So do you want to say something to close the entire My 3-Minute Thesis competition?
Good luck to everyone.
I like that. I like that. Well, Celsin, thank you so much. And I'll see you on the Spanish semifinals.
Thank you, Rihanna.
I'll see you in a while.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And with this, we came to the end. This is a wrap up of my 3-Minute Thesis competition on just the third quarters, because now we are going to the semifinals. So I'm going to say this in Spanish. Muchas, muchas gracias a todas las personas que nos acompañaron en todas las eliminatorias desde que empezamos en marzo hasta, desde que empezamos en febrero, ahora que estamos casi terminando en abril. Así que muchísimas gracias y pues estén pendientes, ya están los resultados de las semifinales, ahí las pueden consultar y les estaremos avisando de las fechas que justamente se llevarán a cabo entre abril y mayo. Así que, pues, justamente como nos dicen por acá, felicidades a todas las personas participantes, al equipo organizador que pues siempre estuvo ahí al pie del cañón y a todas las unidades que también hicieron posible que pudiéramos tener estas eliminatorias por primera vez de forma presencial. Las de inglés no las hacemos presenciales porque pues justo tenemos a personas de todas las unidades, de todas las divisiones y sería un poco complicado, pero pues todas las demás sí pudimos tenerlas en sus unidades. Así que gracias por vernos, gracias por apoyarnos y pues estén pendientes porque para la semifinal, les recuerdo, todo el público va a poder venir a votar. Así que por acá les esperamos. Gracias de nuevo al equipo y nos vemos muy pronto. Yo soy Oriana Trejo. Hasta luego.